shamanic adventures, tuning into our inner awareness at this time and asking the question and holding the space for what it is to live in the warrior's way. This warrior that we speak of is a warrior that begins with the heart. This warrior has no enemies outside of the self. This warrior knows that facing all the conflict within transforms and arises the opportunity for the big act in life, our destiny. So we pose the question today in the inner awakening of the warrior within you. And we call this warrior forward at this time. We demand an audience with the self. Sitting across from the self is the dialogue. Sitting across from all that we can imagine being real or unreal sits as the enemy to elude us from our consciousness, to move us away from understanding the self. And the story that we live in becomes our self-identity, and finding ourselves in the story and losing ourselves in the story is the way in which we receive. So the warrior's way is a way of presence and gratitude for the very moment, and for the recognition that the dialogue and the enemy within us seeks to constantly move us away from receiving, moving us away from putting ourselves first, moving us away from what it is to receive and share and be met in the awareness of self. Yes, the warrior faces the conflict from within. The warrior is observant of the dialogue. The warrior knows that controlling the dialogue is not his job. To only be aware and allow the inner awareness to open, to see with the inner eye, the eye that reveals the awareness of the gravity that we make. So the warrior's way involves remembering what it is to play. In the soul's dance of the universal creation, your awareness and presence is the commodity of time, space. And how you decide to live is under attack from the charge of the story that wants to be created, from the what ifs. And what if it's all fucked? And so what if it is? When we entertain the what if, we turn away from the self. When we entertain if this and then that, we decide not to be the value, not to be the reality, that comes forward in the awakening of self. And all at the same time, the experience of the dialogue itself is the path, the warrior's path, to know that the warrior cannot change his destiny, cannot change others, but continuing to try to face this reality and transmute into the being that you remember from long ago, that is awakened in the awareness of now. In that old time when we were warriors, in that old time when sometimes we were soldiers instead of warriors, and we did not understand our relationship to death. And death was not our ally. Death was our enemy. And isn't death your enemy when you avoid how you feel? And so how does the warrior make death the ally? How does the warrior understand that death is stalking him? And that transformation is the reality of creation. There is nothing that ever dies, but yet transforms. How many times have you transformed? How many times have you been aware of that transformation? Death is stalking us all, and the warrior looks to his left and says, "Death, have you touched me?" And whether death says yes or no, there is nothing to fear, because the journey continues, and the journey of clarity is infinite and everlasting and eternal, like your soul. So I say that the warrior's way is a way of getting real, being real about how you feel, and knowing that what you care about is where you have decided to no longer betray the self, to betray you and put others' needs in front of you, instead of learning how to receive and share who you are. And so who are you? Asked the dialogue. Who are you anyway? Are you special? Do you deserve pity? Do you look for validation in the external world? Please raise your hand if you've been validated from others, from the external reality. Silence. Said the value of the warrior is within. Said the value of the warrior is within. Value of the warrior is organizing your feelings and integrating the feelings through the path of harmony through conflict. And facing all conflict is the warrior's way, the way through. Is there anything that is not available for you to receive, or is it just that receiving is the mystery? So the warrior's way is the collapsing of the story. The warrior's way is the end of the what if and the end of why. What is the value of knowing the purpose? What is the value of you? Collapse, the universe's way of implosion, the recreation, the harmonic resonance of balance within the self, and the resonance to mimic and hold space in the greater magnetic field of creation. Awakening in the heart, the warrior is reminded that the heart is the place of love. And the heart is the place where the shadow forms, and the place where we begin to look deep into our fears, and allowing the sacred dream to open, being the results of transforming the shadow's density and holding love as the identity. The warrior awakens into the co-creation and the awareness of what is truly happening and within, and calling forth the awareness of all of the beings now that have been trapped in the vibrational reality and have decided that turning away from the heart has functionality. Together, humanity is moving beyond the parasitic vibration of a give and take. We are remembering that receiving equals the shareability that we have, and the purpose of being comes forward in the receiving of the vibrational world. And exactly how do you want to live? The warrior's reality defines it in the presence of living beyond regret and accepting the transformation of nature and time and our part in it, and accepting that what community truly means is the sharing of love. And how do we share? How do we show up and become vulnerable? How do we move away from the pain of chasing our tail and awaken in the space of self-mastery? And stalking now deeper into the self, the warrior uncovers the pain that does not allow the freedom of bliss to inhabit the body, and does not allow the Kundalini to rise and the beacon in the universe of the magnetic field to be expressed. The soul's mission within the warrior spirit is the integration of the shadow and the self-mastery of receiving. To receive is as simple as our breath and as complicated as you ever want to make it. To receive allows space for creation to meet. And it is the meeting of things in creation. It is the relationship of all things that shapes us and that shapes everything. You are a part of all of this creation. You are in relationship to everything. Your resonance and frequency attracts the same reality. The warrior chooses to transform the self, to transform the awareness so that the shareability of self is shared. How do we share the self? How do we allow what we care about to be our gratitude? What is the depths of a warrior's gratitude? What is the depths of your gratitude? And how grateful can you be for this moment, for your heart, for all that has been presented, and the difficulty and the transition that it took for you to discover the warrior within. allows the heart's magnetic presence to organize. Because conserving energy is the warrior's way, waiting for the time in which the destiny is presented so the warrior may act, and act in the awareness and integrity of the soul. In the gratitude for this moment, the organization of the magnetic field becomes even in the pulse as the breath expands. The consciousness and the awareness that is gained can only be developed. And the warrior's way is within. And the warrior's way is here, within this body, within this moment, calling the heart.
the care that is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. The warrior lives in the foundation of trusting the self through learning through the trials of betrayal. A warrior lives there that is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. The warrior lives in the foundation of trusting the self through learning through the trials of betrayal. A warrior lives from the care that is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. Received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and the care that is shared in the reciprocal nature of equality. It is received and
In the awareness of this journey, in the awareness of right now. Said the warrior is calling to receive and care in the awareness of equality, because you cannot receive from giving. Receiving equals the shared ability of what is available, and availability and transparency is the warrior's way.